Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and yeah, it has been a long time since I made a Heroes video, but I actually came across a very interesting video today by the Science Scholar, and I really want to talk about it because he brought to my attention that the Dragon Ball Super Divers is doing super bad, which I'm not surprised. I don't think anyone is surprised. And I discovered so many other things while watching this video, and I really want to talk about it, so without further ado, let's jump straight into the video.
It's convenient the game is called Divers when talking about its fall because it's diving to the bottom of the ocean with every—
Yeah, because that's the thing. I never understood why they decided to take away Heroes and announce Divers, and then nothing interesting came out of Divers, so what was the point of putting Heroes down when Divers is not doing anything special? I don't get it.
Everybody will soon forget about it. In this video we're going to look at the failure behind it along with the fall of Super Dragon Ball Heroes because there's a link between the two. And when I refer to Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I'm primarily talking about the video game. Credit to V-Bill's—
Yeah, because if you are talking about the anime, it's all over the place. Because they did a lot of changes for the anime, just to promote it, it's not really something important. But the source of the story and everything, it's the arcade, and then the manga followed closely with the arcade more than the anime. In Meteor Mission, they actually, with the promotional CGI, they did become more closer to the arcade, and the same for Ultra God Mission. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Big Bang Mission and Universe Mission had the most diverse in terms of manga, promotional, and arcade. That had like the biggest variants. Ultra God Mission and Meteor Mission have been overall pretty similar to each other, not a lot of differences compared to the previous promotional anime to the original source.
The following overview of Dragon Ball Super Divers' failure, and also Venix's for their translation. Their link is in description, and this is the frustrating end of Super Dragon Ball Heroes and the current situation of Divers, because I've got to be honest with you scholars, when Divers was announced, I wasn't interested in the slightest because around the same—
like, also the same in my case as well, just because Divers didn't seem to bring what I was expecting from Divers. But I think I'll go further into this later on because he's going to talk about certain topics that are super interesting.
Same time we were waiting for Sparking Zero, and of course—
Okay, in this case I didn't care for either, to be honest. Sparking Zero, I played it a little bit, not my kind of game. And Dragon Ball Super Divers is kind of the same as Heroes, which is an alright game. But what I like about Heroes, Divers does not have, so I'm like not really caring too much about it.
For me and for me alone, I felt an oversaturation of Dragon Ball gaming content amongst everything else that's still getting mass amounts of DLC for. Now, it just seems like there's so many to keep up with on a weekly basis, and—
Well, he's kind of true. Legends, Udokan, Sparking Zero, Super Divers, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Xenoverse 2, The Breakers, which they said it was going to end, but now they have Golden Frieza, so I don't know what's going on there. But there's a lot to follow. There's a lot of games to follow. And now also the Dragon Ball Multiverse, like the MOBA-ish Dragon Ball game, which people seem to really like it, and it seems to be a very fun game. So I cannot wait to see when it comes out.
Super Divers was just a classic example of oversaturated mid-Dragon Ball content, prioritizing and branching out quantity more than focusing on quality. And
yes.
If you haven't, scholars, leave me a comment on what your thoughts are on Dragon Ball Super Divers and Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Yay or nay? Also, hit the like for me on this video.
Yay or nay? Heroes, yay. Divers, nay. Again, for me, Dragon Ball Heroes began kinda meh, because it had some what-ifs regarding the story, which is super fun, and if you are in the Dragon Ball community, you guys know about a lot of the what-if videos, so there's a market for the what-ifs, and I think Heroes kinda went into that niche, and it was kind of fun for some people, not so fun for others, because, you know, it's a bit over the top, that some people don't like the over-the-top content of Dragon Ball, which is completely understandable. But it had like a niche, it was fun. Then they made Super Dragon Ball Heroes, which went after Dragon Ball Heroes. And they brought like many more characters that, you know, we never seen. Camber, Hearts, Lags, Kaminoran, Vidro, they brought back Majino Zotto and so many EOS, what did they call it? It brought so many things that are super interesting, and it brought like a lot of charm, in my personal opinion. For many people will probably disagree, but it brought a lot of charm that I really liked about Heroes. Well, previously there were some what ifs, but it was the same characters over and over again, just some differences, so I was not super keen into it. I just got very interested more when it came to the Demon Realm and stuff, which Daima does go to it, and I think it does a pretty alright job. But I guess I'll always be a little bit biased towards the Heroes side of the Dark Demon Realm.
Leo, that helps out massively, and thank you. So I guess we're at the crossroads, scholars, where every single Dragon Ball fan has to ask themselves the same question.
What the hell happened?
Greed.
Why is Super Dragon Ball Heroes and Dragon Ball Super Divers goddamn disgraces?
To Dragon Ball. Why are...
I mean, I don't honestly. Divers, I get it, what's a disgrace. It's not a very good game, and it's a bit boring. Heroes, I don't know why it's a disgrace outside of the, making a lot of dumb transformations, fusions, and whatnot. But I think that's the charm of Heroes. I don't know. Like, what people say it's a disgrace to Dragon Ball, I think it's a pretty fun little, extra game with extra content. I don't know. We don't lose by having it. It's just a win situation. If you don't like it, you don't watch it. I don't know why people are so dramatic over hating Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I never understood it.
Are such simple, straightforward games handled with so much disrespect that a simple deck of cards becomes more complex than Dr. Giroux's scientific research?
Yeah, it does get complex, yes. That it does.
Super Dragon Ball Heroes, as you may know, is an arcade game developed by Dimps, initially exclusive to Japan. However,
Kind of a fun one too.
extremely popular to the point of receiving a version for Taiwan and China.
Yes, that is very true.
Dragon Ball World Tour, an attempt was made to bring the game to the West, but unfortunately, Western audiences showed little interest.
Yeah, like they did the World Mission, which I personally kind of liked it. I don't know why people didn't like the game that much. I pretty much enjoyed it. It's not the you should definitely have this game sort of game, but I kind of liked it, and even to this day, sometimes I still do play it. It's a pretty fun game for me. But I guess I understand why people don't like it.
The cards being translated into English. Later, the game Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission was released globally, marking the franchise's debut on console and PC in the West. However, due to Bandai's pricing, the game reached a cost of around $50, resulting in disappointing sales. In contrast, Japan...
It was a bit expensive for what it was. I got the game for like €5, which is kind of like $5. I got it on discount, and for that price, it's worth it. But $50 for a game that doesn't have DLC or like any downloadable free-ish, I mean, it should be free in my opinion, but yeah, for what it is, 50 is super pricey. It should not have been that pricey, and I think they would have gained more if they marketed the game in beginning kind of cheap, like 10 to 20, and then with additional cards and stories, they could like do like Xenoverse, add extra content and making like 10 or 5, so that will give like people a reason to buy like more things. Because okay, it's kind of fun, kind of affordable. The way they went about it is like $50 for that, and then they let the game die. I don't know. It just doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel worth the price for what it was. I think it should have been marketed like lower price, and then maybe with like DLCs that include more cars, more like stages and stuff, then maybe they could, increase the price and, with the DLCs. But as it was a big flop.
Seen 3 exclusive titles released for the Nintendo 3DS in previous years. Not long after the Big Bang mission, Wataru Higuchi, the game's producer and a key figure in the project, left the team.
And that's why basically the best, not really seasons, but the best were definitely Universe Mission and then Big Bang Mission, and after that it was chaos and turmoil, and that person was pulling the strings, I'll tell you that. That person was doing God's work on Heroes. After they left, that thing just completely went downhill, and fucking crash and burn, and everything's on fire. And now we have Divers, which is diving deep into the sea of failures and probably going to drown in its own greed.
By Kurapi, the manager, and Akai, the producer, who were already part of the development team. From that point on, there was a noticeable decline in the game's content, especially in story quality.
Yes.
Still, the cars were becoming...
Man, if you follow the other manga of Heroes, because there's still one by Toyotaro, another one by Nagayami Yoshitaka, which for me he's the GOAT. They were they were trying their best to make it good. And I think they managed to make it good, despite the whole shkabobble disaster that was the storytelling of Ultra God Mission and Meteor Mission. They did their best, and they did it phenomenally in my opinion. You can disagree with me, feel free to do so. But I just think they did an amazing job for what they had. It's just sad, you know, because I see potential in the storytelling and the game, and then boom! Just discontinued. Diver sucks, everything sucks, everyone loses, no one wins, which is the worst outcome of everything.
Increasingly complex for children, the game's primary audience. The game's...
That is true, it is complex, but there are still kids playing the game. Heroes had like tournaments where he had like adults, children, men, women. There were tournaments and people were enjoying the game. Even kids, they were enjoying the game. Because it had appeal, the characters were fun, you had like a lot of... so many bombastic things that if I was a child at the time, I would be like, oh my god, mom, can I get please Super Saiyan 4 Bardock? You know, like, there was just so many things that were so cool in Heroes, in my opinion. And as a kid, I'll be like, oh my god, this is so fun. When I see Divers, I'm like, why should I play Divers when I have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is a better game? There is no fun motivation for you to get Dragon Ball Divers. Maybe make the game more easy. I completely get that, and I think it's alright. But you're literally taking the fun characters that made Heroes heroes, and the what ifs, and what make Heroes appealing? They took it away from Divers. So of course no one, not even kids, want to play the game, because it's boring as fuck. Because why that when I can play games that already tell the story and are more fun to play? Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, to some extent Sparking Zero.
The game didn't even manage to celebrate its 15th anniversary before its closure. The story ended in a disappointing manner with the Ozoto arc featuring a...
Yes, the Ozoto arc was so... Ultra God Mission had so much potential, in my opinion, to be separated into two, being the Eos arc, and then we had the Demigra arc, and then we could have had the Ozoto arc later on, but nothing that happened. Everything was rushed, nothing was satisfying. Okay, from the Eos situation, I guess you got the Bardock Goku situation, which was pretty fun. That's about it. Ozoto was hinted at from the beginning of Universe Mission, both in the arcade and the manga. It was so mid, it was so, and of course we had the animations, which wasn't, great. But I knew why they went to CGI at the time, because I knew that they were working on Dragon Ball Divers, so I know for a fact that, they had to cut costs, so to work on Divers, they went to cut in on Heroes. Why couldn't they have done that later on? It fucking beats me. It was just so sad that it ended the way it did, and it was... People in the community of Heroes, as far as I'm aware, were super excited for Ozoto and Ultra God Mission. There was like some excitement about it, and then everyone was like, that's it? All this hype and anticipation for this? And now you expect us to play Dragon Ball Divers? Really now? Like, you gave us like mid, now you make us pay more for a game that's even shittier?
From an old arcade game, Dragon Ball Z VR VS, an idea that could have been interesting but was poorly executed.
Yes!
Due to the use of CGI in promotional materials.
It was the CGI, it was the writing, everything was ready to be a failure. literally.
Over. With the anime team busy with Dragon Ball Daima, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes promo anime concluded with the Ultra God mission, and the CGI team suddenly had to create more complex cutscenes in a short time frame, making the work highly stressful. With Dragon Ball Daima potentially conflicting with Super Dragon Ball Heroes storyline, the development team struggling to manage the game, and the cards becoming too complex for children, Super Dragon Ball Heroes still managed to retain a high level of popularity. However, its production was abruptly halted and unexpected.
Because that's the thing that's more annoying. Even with the whole thing of like being more complex, people were excited and intrigued. Kids, adults, everyone was like, okay, this is a bit complex, but there is some fun to it. And now you're giving us divers. No one asked for divers. No one wants this. This is so shit. Why are you forcing us to play this mid-ass fucking game no one asked for when we have the better version of the game already? Like...
A new game, Dragon Ball Super Divers, was announced as the spiritual successor to Dragon Ball Heroes.
Spiritual successor, my fucking ass. That's an abortion, that's what have happened.
This new title featured improved graphics and a more powerful graphical engine, abandoning the Budokai-style models, which I think is a good idea. I think updating it is pretty fine. You know what could have been better? A revamp. Like, maybe revamp Heroes, maybe... I don't know, because again, maybe I have like strong opinions and hot takes, but Divers was just a big mistake. Been part of the charm of seeing new characters with a PS2 style aesthetic. Even the Victory Mission manga was discontinued, featuring only a special chapter illustrated by Toyotaro.
Yes.
Seemed determined to move away from Dragon Ball Heroes, and the content of Universe Mission 3 would soon become...
Yeah, but like Toyotaro going away from it, I think is pretty understandable. And we got Nagayama, which you could say art-wise is not as good, which is, you know, understandable. But I think Nagayama did a very good job to writing the story of what he could of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I think he made a pretty decent job. And Toyotaro was doing pretty good with the Dragon Ball Heroes manga.
Unplayable and inaccessible to everyone. However, Super Divers was met with overwhelmingly negative reception.
Yeah, because you cannot play with older cards. I mean, yeah, you have like a little tournament or a little game mode that you can play with your previous cards. But it's like, bruh... It's just,
Furious players even went as far as tearing up their Super Dragon Ball Hero cards.
Oh my god, really? Okay, I don't think I would go that far. But it comes to show how bad Divers is. People are fucking ripping their cards. Like, hey, if you guys have like Dragon Ball Heroes cards that you do not like or don't want anymore, if it has Cumber or Broly or Hearts, feel free to send it to me. I accept it.
His concept was to recreate the experience of Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super without introducing exotic what-if scenarios like Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, one of...
This is the most, like, corporate showing that they know nothing about the community ever. We all know that big corporations, most of the time, do not know what the fuck is going on, and they make, like, the worst decisions, and everyone is like, what the fuck you made this decision for? No one asked for this. What made Heroes fun? Even Heroes, not Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Dragon Ball Heroes fun was the what-if scenarios, was the make your little character. There was just so much into it that made it so much fun. The new characters, the what-ifs, what made Heroes Heroes? They took it away. Again, if I want to play GT, Super, Z, I will be playing Xenoverse, Sparking Zero, Dragon Ball Kakarot, some previous old-ass games. We are not asking to play the same bullshit over and over again. We are tired. We like the story of Dragon Ball. We've seen it, we've watched it, we've read it. We are tired. I mean, for me personally, of course, you probably are not tired, but I am tired of the same thing over and over again. It's like, okay, give me a what-if game. Give me a game with more characters, more goofiness. Give me something interesting for once, and not the same old, oh, here comes Boo, oh, it's Cell, oh, it's Frieza, oh, it's Zamasu, or... The what-ifs are fun. Even Sparking Zero understood that the what-ifs are super fun. And they are. And you take that away from Heroes? The bombastic transformations that make no sense. Like the stupid ass fusions that a lot of people hate, but I think it's super funny. Like, what made Heroes so entertaining? They took it away. And people who are saying that, oh, Dragon Ball Heroes is too much, that's what made it special. That's why people are not fucking touching Dragon Ball Divers. Because it's not fun, it's boring, it's the same thing over and over again without nothing special. The game is shit, playing the same story over and over again and pay extra money for that because of the cards. It's just a horrible fucking decision, and it makes no sense for me. Because in my eyes, what made Super Dragon Ball Heroes popular was the bombastic nonsense things. Even if people don't like it, they would be like, okay, what the fuck is Heroes doing now? Is this a Super Saiyan 4 fusion with Super Saiyan 4 limit break? I don't understand. Why is Broly a limit break? What is this? Who the fuck is Scumber? Who the fuck is this elf looking guy? Even if it made no sense, people are like, the fuck is this? I'm curious. Because it has appeal. People were interested to know, like, what the fuck is going on? Even if it makes no sense. There was something to it. Something. This has nothing. It's better to have something than nothing. This is nothing. This is super fucking boring. I've been trying to follow Divers, but there is nothing to fucking follow. They're going to make like a little manga thing? Oh, sure. I just don't get, I don't see the appeal, and I guess many people agree with me. There is nothing fun about Divers. It's just soulless cash grab, and that's it.
Heroes' signature features. The game aimed to stay more faithful to the original storyline, featuring dialogues reminiscent of classic console games, but in doing so, it lost its unique appeal. That being
precisely
said, Super Divers did boast an excellent combat system and improved graphics, with refined.
That's the thing, yeah, the gameplay is fun. But you know what's also fun? Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Sparking Zero. Like, that's the thing. Why play this game when we have everything else that does the same and better? That's the problem. Yeah, this gameplay is fun. But ain't no way people are going to be like, yeah, I would totally prefer this game over the whole other roster of awesome games that we have that do the same fucking thing but better.
Character models and a heroes mode that functioned better compared to previous phases, which had FPS drops. However, the game suffered from a major issue. Its 3-screen setup, intended to increase immersion, ended up being visually unappealing.
Wow, really? Damn. I mean, I thought it was interesting, but that's it. Just, okay, 3 screens, nice, I guess. A game can look pretty, a game can look nice, but if it's fucking bland, no one will touch it.
An even bigger backlash, the team hastily added Heroes mode, allowing players to use their old Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards, PvP battles, and to freely access all Super Dragon Ball Heroes missions. The downside? The rewards consisted solely of Super Divers cards, and Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards became even harder to find since they were no longer available for purchase anywhere.
True.
To play Heroes mode, players had to find Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards by other.
Yeah, it's basically to play with what we already had. There's like no way to play with more additional cards. You basically need to already have a roster of cards to play that mode. That was the idea of the whole mode. Is it a good thing? No, I'm happy it exists, but again, why play Divers at all?
And now that Dragon Ball Super Divers is in its 3rd mission, well, things aren't looking great. The game struggles to attract players, with many.
Wow, the game has nothing, therefore it's not attracting anyone? Wow, who could have guessed? I know I'm being super rude and super cynical, but this was so easily guessed. I mean, no one is fucking surprised that this is failing. I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
Reports of arcade halls being nearly empty. Most players stick to Heroes mode, but arcade booths are often deserted. Even Dragon Ball Daima content failed to spark interest. Furthermore, retailers have stopped purchasing EX and EXR rare cards, which were sold separately at high prices because they aren't generating profits.
Wow. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Regarding Daima, again, you're probably going to play Daima in Kakarot. Or maybe Xenoverse in the future. So again, why play Divers when you can play everything else but Divers? I will definitely do that. This is...
The high energy costs of arcade machines also make them difficult to maintain. Simply put, the game is...
Oh, that's true. I also heard it like costs a lot to maintain the 3 screens.
Off. To make matters worse, rumors suggest that the team may remove Heroes mode in the future.
Oh, this is dead. Oh, this is... You're removing Heroes mode. The only thing keeping the arcade afloat. You're gonna remove that? Might as well fucking completely cancel Dragon Ball Super Divers. You're going to waste resources, money, and paper. No one is going to get anything from that game. Unless you decide to bring what you don't want to bring, which is the bombastic, over-the-top shit that made Heroes interesting. And the what-ifs. Without those, this is going to flop big time. It's already flopping, but it's going to flop even harder.
In Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards completely useless and worthless. However, given the current situation, it's likely that the game will survive at most for another 2 years before being shut down completely.
I'm surprised we survived that long, I'm gonna be real. I'm surprised not going to shut down this or next year. I'm surprised about that. Cause the game looks nice. It looks super nice, and it'll be super cool to see like how Heroes would have looked like in this new graphics. But no, gotta pick everything that people don't give a shit about Heroes and put it in this game.
V-Jump has released 2 new Super Dragon Ball Heroes cards featuring Super Saiyan Vegeta and Final Form Frieza. Additionally, Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission saw the removal of the Anime Music Pack DLC, fueling speculation that the game might soon be delisted from the Nintendo and Steam digital stores. Despite the game's poor reception in the West, particularly due to the misunderstandings about the promo anime, which was actually just...
Oh my god, yes. Oh, I have so many people come to my comment section saying like, why do you like Heroes? It makes no fucking sense. The anime sucks. And I'm just like, brother, you are aware that this anime, quote unquote, is actually an arcade game and has a manga that talks about the story of said spin-off, right? They don't know. People don't know. I still think that it should have been much better organized. If they followed more the manga and the arcade, I think it would have been a bigger success, if I'm being super honest. But even without that, it was still super popular. People pretty much enjoyed it. So even with its flaws, it had super potential, and people were interested in that said potential. But I agree with the Saiyan Scholar. If they went with a better explanation of what the promotional anime was and were more faithful to the arcade, therefore making the whole timeline make more sense, it would have been super more appealing because people were interested in it. Another problem with Heroes is that if you try to do anything about Heroes, Bandai is going to come after your fucking ass. I've lost the amount of times that I streamed World Mission and I got copyright striked because I was playing the fucking game. Okay, you cannot show any almost footage because Bandai is going to come up your ass. So even if you want to talk about the game, promote the anime and whatever, Bandai comes after your ass and be like, yeah, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So like, you can't even promote the game and the arcade if you wanted. Not the game and arcade. Game and the anime, you can't do it because Bandai comes after your ass and just fucking puts a strike on that. It's just shooting your own fucking foot. People want to talk about the game, the arcade. The game is the arcade, fucking hell. The arcade and the anime and the manga, and you're here just boycotting yourself because don't allow creators to speak about it and show that the game is fun because you cannot show this clip because we have bots and the bots detect that you're like stealing content despite not stealing content and just showing the game while talking about it and telling people that the game is fun. But guess not, the game is shit because it won't allow me to do anything with it.
Promotional material, Heroes...
Again, maybe it was just a me problem, but I legit tried to record videos of me reacting to everything Heroes, talking about it, trying to promote it, and I couldn't because I got strikes and I will get demonetized. So I'm like, why even bother if when I'm trying to show more people about the game, they don't allow me to, so might as well let it fucking die.
Never had a good reputation outside Japan. Moreover, with Wataru Higuchi no longer involved, a World Mission 2 seems highly unlikely. In the end, it's the company itself that sealed the fate of Dragon Ball Heroes and its successor, Super Divers. A very, very sad story indeed. And that's...
Yeah, because there was so much potential for having so many things. You know what, I'm happy? Dragon Ball card game. They have Cumber. I have Cumber cards. But yeah, I've fucking been playing Dragon Ball card game. Well, not really been playing, but I've been collecting. Because it's fun. I like the characters. I like the bombastic, over-the-top stuff. They have heroes collabs and everything. Even Dokkan had it. It was super fun. So whenever there's like anything that... Heck, again, I'm saying that I'm promoting the game and trying my best. I'm literally going out of my way to buy booster packs where Cumber is in it, just to try to prove a point to maybe no one that I want more of this. I'm literally speaking with my money now, that I'm investing in things that I don't really play that much, just because I really want more of this. I just want more of what Heroes gave us. The Super Saiyan 4 limit breaks, the stupid transformations, the stupid fusions. I say stupid because some of them are kind of dumb looking. But it's so fun. It's stupid in a good way. For me, it's just so much fun and so dumb in a good way. And I'm smiling thinking about it. It was legit something that I myself found super fun. I was always excited for the next mission to come out, next episode. I was excited. The manga. I didn't felt this happy about something in terms of like franchises ever since I was a kid. The excitement of like waking up every morning to watch your favorite cartoon. That was, stupid as it sounds, it was me with Heroes. I was always excited for the next promotional anime, the next like arcade story, the manga chapter, what's going to... I was excited, even if it's over the top and many people don't like it. I think it's super dumb and are happy that Heroes died. I'm one of the few that had a very fun time with said, spin-off. And even till this day, I am going to try and buy Cumber cards, hard cards if they do, decide to appear. Because I legit am going to talk with my money and I want to prove that there is hope in this, that people like this, so it's okay to bring this back. Will it ever happen? I don't think so, but at least I'm trying and I'm having fun. I like my little Cumber cards. I'm always happy to have them and look through them. It's super fun and I'm like playing it with my partner and I'm having a very good time. I'm super happy.
That's it for the translation, but you guys let me know in the comments how you feel about it. I've already expressed myself at the beginning, but this is a very interesting time, and I guess what Dragon Ball gaming needs more than anything right now is quality. And the right
quality
standpoint, promotion. The gamers who keep these things afloat, we all need to be respected more, because without us, Dragon Ball is nothing.
Yes, and that's something that divers, I think, had to learn. And I don't think it will ever learn. But what can we do? That's just how it is. So we came to the end of the video. I just saw this video and I thought it was super interesting and I wanted to give my 2 cents as someone who made a little bit of content of Heroes for a while now. Some people wanted me to narrate the continuation of the arcade for, I think was Big Bang Mission and the other ones. But right now I don't have a lot of time to do it. It's like, it takes super amounts of time and I don't have time right now. So I don't think I'm going to touch that. But if you guys really want to read the arcade and give Heroes a try, I will leave everything in the description down below for you guys to see. I'll also show the playlist of me narrating the story of Universe Mission of Dragon Ball Heroes if you're interested in that too. But with this said, I don't know if I'm ever going to do more cuts of Heroes, because if the game is dead, I'm just going to stick with Legends, because right now, nothing in Dragon Ball is really exciting me as much as Heroes did, as stupid as it sounds. I did like Daima, I'm currently still watching Daima, but I don't know. I guess part of the spark that I had is kind of gone. So that's why I'm not doing so much content as of late. So I hope you guys understand that. But with this said, I want to thank my members for supporting my channel, and thank you all for sticking to the end. I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.